Hey there, sports fans. Today is going to be a cumulative haul of books that I've acquired lately, and it should be the last haul for a while because I really need to start getting through some of the books that I own and haven't read. First up is The Preppy Kitchen Cookbook by John Cannell. I was kind of dropping hints to my husband that this was something I wouldn't mind getting for Christmas because I've followed a ton of his recipes and every single one of them has come out amazing. So I just wanted to have the book so I don't have to keep looking it up online. And he got it for me for our anniversary, which we kind of weren't supposed to get each other gifts for our anniversary. So I feel like a jackass because I didn't get him anything. But I would highly recommend this YouTube channel, or I think it's a blog where like he has recipes posted because every single one that I've made is really good. And I've made a ton of his recipes. Next up is this Jane Austen gift set. And I couldn't resist this because they were really pretty and they were affordable on Book Outlet. It's Puffin and Bloom in collaboration with the Rifle Paper Company. I have not read any Jane Austen, I don't think. I love the Sense and Sensibility film from the 90s, but I've never actually read the books. And it is a goal going forward into 2026 that I really want to read some Jane Austen, some classics. So we have Pride and Prejudice, and I think that this is a very pretty cover. I don't know much of anything about these. I wasn't really interested in them when I was younger, but I'm interested now. So we have Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, which I may have mentioned. I love the 90s version of this, the film version with Kate Winslet and Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman. Oh my gosh. I had the biggest crush on Alan Rickman. He's just delightful. Everyone is delightful in this movie. I am very excited to read the book and I hope it's like lives up to the film. And Emma, which is a classic. People love Emma. I know that there are at least 2 or maybe 3 film adaptations. I've never seen them. And I don't really know anything going into this, so I'm really excited to read all of these. I'm excited to get into like Jane Austen. Next up is Catabasis or Catabasis. I pronounce it Catabasis, and I saw an interview with R.F. Kuang where she was talking about how to pronounce the name of this book and her previous book, which I pronounce Babel. And she said she doesn't care how you say it. I think she said that she learned English as a second language, and so she has struggled with pronunciation in her life. So she truly does not care how you say it. Say it however you want. I say Catabasis, don't judge me. I know very little about this novel except that people either really, really love it or feel kind of indifferent about it. The premise is that our main character, Alice, wants to be a magician. I think it's kind of a dark academia setting. She needs a recommendation letter from a prestigious magician in the academic setting, but he has recently died and gone to hell. So our main character, Alice, is going on a journey to resurrect him because she really wants a recommendation to university, which I think is like super interesting and also kind of hilarious. So I do hope it's like a little bit darkly funny. I also picked up The 13th Child by Erin A. Craig. She wrote House of Salt and Sorrows, which I did not like the story of. Like, I wanted to love it, but I didn't like the end, and I didn't like some of the relationships of the characters felt very two-dimensional. But I did like the writing a lot. I liked the atmosphere a lot, and the kind of like a misty morning sort of writing is how it felt. So I'm interested to read more of Erin Craig. This novel follows our main character Hazel, who is a 13th child, which means that she has been promised to a god, and the god that she's been promised to is that of death. She's given a gift from this god where she can see, like, she can intuitively know what cure is needed to cure any ailment. That's pretty much all I know about this, but like I said, I do like her writing a lot, and the premise sounds interesting, and if I'm being completely honest, the cover was really pretty. One that I'm pretty excited for is Where I End by Sophie White. This is a story about a woman named Eileen. So Eileen lives on an island off the coast of Ireland, and it seems like she has kind of a miserable existence. She cares for her mother who is ailing in some type of way. She refers to her mother as the bed thing, which is like icky, and I love it because this is supposed to be a horror novel, so like we're getting off to a good start. So one day, an artist named Rachel with her colicky newborn arrives on this island, and she and Eileen have some sort of relationship. The synopsis talks about some of Eileen's like dark desires and unraveling the mystery of her mother's past. It sounds really interesting. It sounds creepy. I love a creepy like island. I love the misty moors type of situation. It sounds a little bit psychological. It sounds a little bit uncomfortable, and I'm interested. Next is The Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. And listen, you can poop on me in the comments, but I don't feel shame. So, like, have a time, I guess. I know literally nothing about this. I have the Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox, and I haven't read them. And I saw this for sale on Book Outlet, and I figured I may as well have all three. And now all three of them are on my shelf and on my TBR. And listen, I think it's Dark Academia. If I'm being totally honest, I know next to nothing about these. And you know what? I'm not going to read the synopsis, so I can't tell you about this one. Hate me if you want. Next up, I have The Third Wife of Faraday House by B.R. Myers. This is a gothic tale about a gothic manor and a woman who marries a man knowing almost nothing about him. It's kind of like, I think, like the traditional gothic tale of like a woman who falls madly in love or wants to fall madly in love. She has romantic ideas. She marries some freaking mystery man, moves in his creepy ass house, and like shit's gonna get wild. I'm excited for this one because I love just a weird gothic horror. Last but certainly not least is I'll Be Waiting by Kelly Armstrong. This book is about a woman named Nikita. Nicola. This is a book about a woman named Nicola who was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis as a kid. And she kind of like beats the odds and she's like living. Maybe she's not thriving, but she's surviving. And then one day she falls in love. Isn't that sweet? But her boyfriend, husband, fiance tragically dies in a car accident, like dies in her arms, right? And he says, I'll be waiting for you right before he dies. I guess this was a very public accident, and someone was filming on their phone that he said, I'll be waiting for you. And then that video hits the internet, and then people on the internet start saying, well, it wasn't really him that said it. It was his ghost, like hovering outside of his body. And so I think she does like maybe a seance or something to try to communicate with him. Super weird. I'm here for it. I'm into it. I'm excited. I love a ghost story. I think she starts getting like haunted. So I'm definitely into that. I'm interested in, and maybe this is like, whatever, maybe I won't even include this. I'm kind of interested in reading a book from the perspective of somebody with a disability or with like a chronic illness. I don't know a lot about cystic fibrosis, but I do know that it is devastating and it can make life extremely difficult and short lived. I do think that we should start including people of various disabilities in stories as main characters because the reality is that these are people and they deserve to be represented. I am not the type of person who typically cares about representation because I think most people are pretty well represented in entertainment media if you are, seeking that out. But, thinking about it now, I do think that like differently abled people are underrepresented, especially in books. But to circle back, I am excited to read this eventually. I obviously have a fat stack of books over here, and I have a fat TBR and so many books that are unread on my shelves. So who knows when I'll get to it, but I will get to these eventually. All right, guys, that's it. Those were the books that I've acquired recently. I think that was all of them. There may be some that I just shoved on the shelves because I didn't feel like setting them aside to record. You may notice that there is a shelf above my head. There's actually two shelves above my head, but you probably can't see them. I had my husband put some shelves up in our master bedroom for me to fill with books because I have little stacks all over the place and I needed more space for more books. So I will be filling this up and I might take you along with me for that. I might not. Thanks for stopping by.